This is why Kanye West should be the next president. I think we always forget and think about politics in terms of like a contest, but I don't think that's how we should look at things. When I think about this type of politics, I look back to it's a different world. There's an episode where Jesse Jackson, if you're a black person and you know a little bit of black history, Jesse Jackson was someone that was like the first black person to ever run for office. So when they introduced him in the episode, they were talking about how usually the students, like let's say there's a president that's running for a student body inside a university or whatever, they run in terms of who's more popular than the other person. I think we took that system from a different world. Even like high school kids do this. We took that part of like a popularity contest and put it in terms of like the whole entire nation, who's more popular, Trump or Hillary Clinton. We've seen this over the years, and I know it's crazy because I'm mentioning why Kanye West should be president and is like the most popular person right now. I know I'm going to miss a lot of things as to why I think he should be president myself. It's not just him, basically. I'm just using him as a prop for who he is. And he's the only person right now that's running for president that's a designer. He cares about design problems, and the solutions to those problems can be fixed via design, and he's the only designer we have right now running for office 2024. They all talk about how we have to reach a certain level of affordability by 2030. It's either the United States, SA, or wherever. I think I have to mention this. I'm choosing the United States specifically because there are multiple countries that come up with great designs, but most of the world don't adopt it. So US exports a lot of entertainment, and in entertainment, when they show certain designs, other people also adopt them. So I'm mentioning them, I'm focusing on them. Not that there are other countries that don't know how to design, but I'm specifically mentioning the United States because of like their influence in the entire world. So for everything that I missed, I know I'm not a political student or international relations or whatever. I didn't study those areas of things, but I'll try to fix a lot of problems. You can go and check out all of my other videos that will try to solve problems. Subscribe and comment below what I missed. If we look at projections to 2030, we can see that the affordability of homes, like, it's not going to decrease, it's increasing. Of course, they always fluctuate, and you can see, like, I think we're reading yesterday, fluctuations were like 6.33% decrease in mortgages, right? How do we actually affect this affordability long run? We need designers. We have a video as well. 3D houses, like how can we print 3D printed houses so that they're affordable to everyone? Interior design, you can go check out that video. Everything that I'm going to talk about, all these problems that I'm going to talk about are designs that need to start from the top. So designs that they just need to redesign the systems to fix everything. Number two is electrical infrastructure. So also did this video going deeper on these things like electrical infrastructure, on how to localize electricity so that if one part of the town is affected by something, it doesn't affect everything. We look at if you're in SA, there are load sheddings. In Europe, there are multiple blackouts as well, right? So this is a design problem. Of course, it can be like an international relations problem with Russia closing off its natural gas pipes, and then it comes to like Qatar now exporting its natural gas that it has right now, right? Like that's the problem that Europe is having. But in the US, I think there's more natural gas and more resources to electricity than in Europe and anywhere else. The geothermal electricity, which was also covered here in this channel, you can go check it out. As a designer, you have to look at new ways to design this infrastructure. Like if for certain example, for engineers, like if they understand this, if you want to increase the power generation of something and you have to deliver it in like long distances, you have to make the poles way longer. But if like there's not a designer that's designing these systems, or someone that understands how to design these systems, then it will fail automatically because there's so much trouble that goes on. So that's why we need a designer in office that we can copy and see how things are done. Second thing is education. Education, I think people see it as maybe the educators are not really like working enough because they're not paid enough. But that's also a designer problem. I'm not even a designer, but I think I should be an advocate of it because I see where like it can work and how it can solve these problems, right? So education as well is a design problem in terms of like how do you design the curriculum so that it benefits every kid. I think Elon Musk also mentioned something that was really interesting that I followed. It was about how we don't have to have K through 12 if like someone doesn't understand grade 12 mathematics and they're still in grade 11, they can be learning grade 11 mathematics while doing everything else in grade 12. It's like a system that I agree with in terms of like how I see other people and how they moved through K through 12. Not everyone can be the same, right? So I think redesigning the entire structure of the curriculum in education can help. The fourth one is climate change. There's a lot of debates because like if you look at people like in the US, it's crazy. If like a Democrat and you're a Republican, Republicans don't believe in climate change somehow. If like I'm wrong, comment below and explain to me what's going on because I'm not there. If you want to understand more of climate change, there's a video we did, I'm sure. I combine road infrastructure and happy living. So happy living, I think most people, you don't think of it as a design, right? So I have an example now, like where I live, where I'm from, like they've redesigned how we stayed and everything, but I feel like it's not a happier place. Before it was designed in such a way that it's more communal than it is now. So now it's like individual. Yeah, as we have yards. Before it was like a squatter camp and everyone was close together, right? It was more communal. It was even like a place like a park where we can play as children or whatever, play and fight and do everything. So it was designed by human beings who understand what happiness needs to be in terms of like community wise. They could have gotten a designer, it's called urban and regional planning, that understands in terms of what needs to happen in terms of happy living. I combine these two because of a city. I think most people know it, Copenhagen. So Copenhagen, if you're a designer, it's like the mecca of design. So how they designed their roads so that people are encouraged to walk and use cycles like bicycles or whatever. It's like beautiful because health and happiness coincide with each other, and this stems from road infrastructure. So if you make roads smaller and places of people where they can walk and cycle larger, people are automatically going to move from cars to cycling and walking, and that improves their health. So we have to focus on redesigning our streets so that people can be able to be more healed. I think Kanye West understands. Maybe people now have forgotten that it's a video about Ye. Kanye West understands because it was trying to build a city as well. I think it was in one of the places that he owns in California. Was trying to build a happy community. The inspiration can be, of course, Copenhagen, but we can put all these things and apply it nationwide. Another thing that I wanted to mention before I forget, it's like incorporating everything that we do, every design that we have. I think we should localize everything that I'm going to mention right now. Transportation. Like transportation to me is like, I feel like we have to redesign it because 40,000 people die every year from car accidents. And that's not a driver's problem or a pedestrian's problem. As I've said, I think I've said this multiple times, we don't blame people, we blame the design. So how do we redesign transportation in terms of self-driving cars, adding subways, bullet trains and everything, like more transportation. Like there's this company, I forget its name, they're actually using, it's an autonomous vehicle, but it actually is like combining a car and a helicopter. So this is trying to decrease traffic and people that are in emergencies, right? Like if there's someone in a hospital, in a family, you can use these systems to actually get there quicker instead of like driving there yourself and causing a lot of accidents. And if like you're in a drunk state, we need cars that will be able to detect that you're drunk and call an Uber or something like this for you. So this is like designing transportation for safety of everyone. I know there are people that complain that of course AI is going to kill people, but with AI, when it kills someone, the following year the same accident is not going to happen because it has learned and distributed the knowledge to everyone. So in terms of us, we only learn once but then we don't teach to other people, so we have to redesign transportation. The other one that it's a video that we're actually going to do is delivery, redesigning delivery in terms of like medicine and medical equipment. If you're in SA and you know people in the rural areas that can't get medicine quick enough, and we need systems that are able to deliver these critical medical supplies to these people quick without any commotion or any mistakes that happen. So there are companies that are doing that, and the systems that we're going to be testing out is like dropping things from the sky so that they land safely. So watch out for that video. I think that's next week's video, right? And the last piece of infrastructure that needs to be redesigned, and I think Ye is someone that has spoken about this, is farming. We're used to the same types of farming that we have, right? What about like vertical farms? So vertical farms, they are clean, they produce 10 times as much as regular farms, and they can be placed anywhere, and the level of sunlight and energy that is produced by the sun, we can produce it by LEDs, and it can grow more fruits that doesn't have any bacteria that can cause diseases or anything, right? And it will create jobs in a local state. As I've said, every solution that I've mentioned here should be localized, and I think the people that we elect to be our president or officials should understand that problems should be solved in a local manner, right? So I think farming is one of the things that we have to focus in. There are multiple things, of course, that I've missed in this video, but if you have any ideas and pushbacks, and I'm not a Ye sympathizer, I don't love Hitler or whatever, but I think we should forget what he's saying, and then I don't believe whatever he's saying. We should forget whatever he's saying and look at the things that he's trying to do. So it doesn't have to be Ye. Can be an engineer, it can be a scientist, but it should be a designer or someone that understands design and knows how to pick brilliant people to put in the table and solve all these problems.